Now that Sparking Zero has been out for a couple of weeks, there have been a lot of data mines and cool information found within the game's files. Let's go over what a Japanese YouTuber found in regards to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and what this could potentially mean for the future of this game. Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays and I am back getting out with some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero data mines and DLC speculation here on the channel. This is actually really interesting stuff. I did not know this was a thing in the game. We went through a lot of the data mine stuff from what people have been finding over the past couple of weeks now, and this is completely new to me. I saw this on Reddit as some people were tagging me in it on Twitter, and they showed me an actual video that was uploaded, which we'll go over that as well. This is actually straight from that video. It shows GT Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4, doing a very unique animation. He actually doesn't have this in the game as far as I know, and this was like a cheat modded thing. I mean, I don't even know if you could call it really a mod. It's a modification, I guess. So this isn't something that, you know, somebody made. This was something that they were messing around with in the files, and they were able to achieve whatever this animation was. Okay, it was basically going through all the transformations for each character in order, and this ended up being one of them, and it shows this unique animation from what he actually does in the anime. Whenever he first transforms in the Super Saiyan 4 for the very first time, he does this, where it's like just this basic stance, but he's got, you know, one arm up or whatever, and it's kind of, you know, interesting because, like I said, he doesn't have this in the game because you can't, there's no transformation, right? GT Vegeta, the base form version of him, does not exist. You can't go from, you know, base to Super Saiyan 4. It's just been this. And granted, in the original Tenkaichi games, at least with Tenkaichi 3, they never had a playable base GT Vegeta. It was always just Super Saiyan 4, and they even called him a different name. It was like Vegeta's second form. They didn't even call him Vegeta GT, you know what I mean? So let's actually go over the Reddit post here on Tenkaichi 4. A Japanese YouTuber was messing around with making characters transform into other characters. So again, it was all the transformations in order from the IDs, the like character IDs, but it was weird because it showed characters transforming into other characters because, like I said, it was just going in order of what the IDs were, right? And they accidentally discovered that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has a unique transformation animation. Seems like Spike was definitely gonna include base form in Super Saiyan GT Vegeta, but scrapped at the last minute. Now, there's no confirmation of that, no actual like proof or full evidence that that was the case, but maybe this is, you know, potential DLC in the future. Like I said, we're gonna go over that near, you know, more the end of the video. I want to go over my speculation and predictions of what I think would be included in a GT DLC pack, because there are still a lot of characters from GT that didn't make it in the final cut of the game, you know what I mean? So it comes from I believe it's pronounced Iori Tree. I do apologize for mispronouncing that. The transformation shows it right here, and he's the only character, as far as I know, because I watched the full video, he's the only character that got this unique animation that's not in the normal game, okay? This is whatever was in the files and left over, it triggers this animation, which is very interesting, okay? So as you can see, he doesn't really have any facial expressions. It's just like the basic, you know, stagnant, like static face. But yeah, it shows that, you know, unique sort of like little animation that he has, which again, it's not really like a, do I call it an animation? Just more of a stance and and like a little bit of a camera work. So it's, yeah, it's not really an animation necessarily, but let's actually read some replies because they're actually interesting and they make a lot of sense to me, right? Very likely gonna be added in a GT pack. I'm 99% sure we are getting transformations in DLC due to Daima Goku having Super Saiyan in the show, but not in the base game. And before we get a second base Mini Goku, that would be ridiculous. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Mini Goku right now, since he was the pre-order bonus, it was just him, right? There were no transformations with it because they only had one character as the bonus, right? But in the actual, you know, Daima DLC that we're going to be getting next year via DLC pack, either, you know, 2 or 3, whichever one it's going to be, we're most likely going to be getting a playable version of Super Saiyan GT Goku, and maybe even Super Saiyan 2, because those are confirmed to be in the anime. We've seen it in the actual trailer and everything. Right now, the anime is airing. We're only on episode 3, so we haven't seen Goku actually do a transformation yet. That's probably why they held off on it. But yeah, we'll most likely see it once we see more material of Goku doing shit in the actual anime itself, and then we'll see it in the DLC coming next year, right? And of course, it wouldn't make any sense for them to not have it as a transformation. He would have to be able to go from base to Super Saiyan, and if they're going to have Super Saiyan 2, whatever it may be. All the transformations that are going to be included in the future DLC, you're most likely going to be able to use and transform into, because even though they are separate slots, transformations are still, you know, a function in the game. You can actually do that, right? It's not like Xenoverse 2, for example, where for the most part, they like to separate a lot of characters. Not all the time, but you know what I mean? So, yeah, having a base form GT Vegeta as future DLC, even though it sounds weird and it's a little bit odd, they can still do it, right? And just have him be able to transform into Super Saiyan 4 GT Vegeta, who is already playable in the base game, right? So moving on here, just to read some of the other replies. I doubt it's scrapped. Probably going to be DLC. That's what I'm thinking. Even if it was scrapped, I still am very, very confident that they'll add GT Vegeta as a playable character in the future DLC, just because, like I said, you know, it's if Xenoverse 2 could get GT Vegeta playable, why not this game, right? And I know people are going to say, oh, well, he didn't really do much in that, you know, in what is it? The anime and all that stuff. Guys, they can easily just give them generic bullshit, all right? A lot of the base form characters have a lot of really boring basic stuff, okay? Look at Kaba, Caulifla, you know, maybe Kale, you know, characters that, like, didn't really have a lot of material. They still included them in the game and gave them stuff like High Speed Rush, Full Power Energy Volley. Like, they can do that, right? Obviously, the biggest, like, most significant form of that character gets the most unique material, okay? For example, like, you know, Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla or Kaba having, like, Final Stream or Crush Cannon and stuff. You know, GT Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 has Final Shine and stuff. Like, they don't have to give them all something just, like, super unique and, you know, has to be straight from the anime, right? It can just be Full Power Energy Wave, for example. Like, that's fine. I don't really have that much of a problem with it, as long as they're playable. And if they can give them something cool and unique, they absolutely will, right, for the most part. So I'm thinking that there's going to be some type of future DLC where it includes that. And maybe, if we're lucky, there's been no confirmation of this yet, but an actual, like, story. The story mode in this game doesn't really seem like it requires too much effort. It's not like Xenoverse 2 where it's like, oh, we're making, like, completely fresh new animated cutscenes, like CGI cutscenes. A lot of this stuff is just using all the base game material for the most part. The animations aren't really there. You very rarely do you get an actual animation, which it seems to just be motion capture shit. But for the most part, it's just like slideshows, right? So they could do it, and I would be happy with it. I mean, obviously, I would love for, like, a crazy animated cutscene, but they could still do something like that, right? For the most part. But, yeah, let's actually go over the video itself. I want to watch the video and see, like, it in actual, like, action. So, again, credits to Iori Tree, I believe it's pronounced. Again, it's going in order from the IDs. So, look at this. Yeah, he actually has, like, a unique animation aspect. Obviously, this is silly. People are going to be confused. But, yeah, you get what I mean by that, right? They're just going through all the transformations, and it shows each character transform into another character or form. And Vegeta is the only one that gets that, like, you know, unique sort of, like, I guess, camera work and stance. No other character gets it. All the other characters have, like, their basic shit where it's, like, all generic stuff. Like, he's the only one that gets this, which is really, really interesting to me. And I really hope that means that in the future, we'll probably get a GT Vegeta that can transform into him, and it has this animation, and they clean it up, give him facial animations, make it, you know, better. We'll see. All right, in the future, we'll go back to this video, and we'll see, did they use this if he actually ends up being a transformation? So this is an actual mod that was created. Unfortunately, it was privated or taken down, so I couldn't find who the original person was that made this until it gets re-released or finished. I guess it was, like, in beta. But yeah, this is a good idea of what he could look like. And the reason why it's, like, so easy for them to include a GT Vegeta base and, you know, potentially Super Saiyan is because they already have the mod already. Baby Vegeta, his base version, his normal, just, like, starting version, is this. It's literally this. I would love if he had the coat, right? The little, like, you know, jacket with the sleeveless vest jacket type of thing. That'd be quite cool. But this just gives you an idea of what it would look like, right? All right, guys, so this will be my sort of final part of the video, my little lineup of what I think would work really well for a GT pack. Again, I don't know how many characters are going to be included in each DLC pack. We'll see whenever we get to that point next year in 2025. That's, you know, a while away. You know, we still have like 2 to 3 more months to wait, but I think this is pretty reasonable. Okay, let's do GT Vegeta, base form, Super Saiyan, and the reason why I'm not going to include Super Saiyan 2 is just because, I mean, there's been debate whether or not, I guess, he even used Super Saiyan 2. I assume at one point he did. In Xenoverse 2, he has Super Saiyan 2. I think in, like, some of the other games, like maybe like Dokkan and shit, they gave it to him. But with Sparking Zero, you know, they got to pick and choose which one that they would, you know, want to include for the most part if there was enough material in the anime or some type of reference that they could get. So I think just give us base form Super Saiyan and have that transform into Super Saiyan 4. I'd be okay with that. Okay, if they want to include Super Saiyan 2, I'm not complaining. More forms, great, right? There is no limit to the amount of characters that they can add. Okay, this isn't about, oh, it's using up slots. It's not about that anymore because now the game's already out. We already have like almost 200 characters, like 180 plus characters. So it's fair game for what they could add, and nobody should really have a problem with it, in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe you still have a problem with it. Yeah, GT Trunks, right? He's in a lot of games. He actually has a lot of material because out of at least the 3 half-breed Saiyans, you know, Trunks had the most material because he was traveling with Goku and Pan at the very beginning. So he has enough material to have stuff for, you know, base form and Super Saiyan. Now, this one, okay, I know people will be like, I don't care about this character. Fuck this character. There's not enough material, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I really don't care. Okay, GT Goten, I've been wanting this dude in a game playable, at least like an actual fighting game, not Dokkan, okay? Shout out to Dokkan for actually doing it. I appreciate and respect that they put him in the game and gave him shit, right? That's awesome. But can we please get GT Goten, at least some grown-ass adult/teen Goten, okay? Can we please get him in a game? I am begging y'all. Bandai, Spike, Xenoverse, Dimps, whoever. One of y'all put him in the game. I feel like Legends might be the closest we'll get to having like an actual playable 3D, you know, fighting style type of game, right, for the most part. And I think they could do it really well. But Sparking Zero could do it, right? There is enough material, like, compared to even like the Buu Saga, GT Goten has some of the most material because he actually fought, even though it was Baby infecting him. They don't have to use Baby, okay? They could just make it GT Goten and give him all the same animations that he had, change the color of the attack from pink to like blue or yellow or something. You know what I mean? Like they could easily do that. And I'm confident that Dragon Ball Legends will probably do that, you know, at some point in time. You know, he teamed up with Trunks, he teamed up with Gohan, you know, in the anime and the series and stuff. Like, please put him in. I know a lot of people don't care about him, but I don't care. I want him in the game, okay? If they include him or if they don't, whatever at this point, I just put him in there just because it's like, how do you have 500 versions of Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan, and you have one version of Goten? Come on, bro. Give him some love, right? GT, in a GT pack, GT Goten is perfect for this, right? And he would be fun. I think he'd be unique and fun, all right? I don't care what anyone says. All right, Super 17, obviously, yes, he is like #1 that people have been requesting. That there was a tweet somebody made talking about the data mine of it, whether it be true or not, or a confirmation. We know they're gonna have to eventually add this man because he's the only major villain out of the big 3 of the arcs from GT that didn't, you know, get an actual playable character, right? So somebody, whoever posted that, it got like 50,000 likes on it. People want Super 17 because he wasn't in the base game. And then, of course, we got to have Aizenova, right? Aizenova were really, really important in you know, the more ending part of the anime. They had, you know, interactions with Sin/Omega, if you want to call him that, after he absorbed the Dragon Balls and shit. So yeah, it would make a lot of sense to add them as well. They're both in Xenoverse 2. Like, most of these characters, except for GT Goten, pretty much everyone here is in Xenoverse 2. And if they're in Xenoverse 2, come on, man. You gotta put him in Sparking Zero, right? Don't let Xenoverse 2 show you up. I'm joking. I love Xenoverse 2. But yeah, I think that's a pretty solid lineup. Again, I'm sure there are more characters that people might want, like the Pada Pada Bros. What is it? Rildo the Dildo. They could do him too. He's unique. He's really unique. So drop him in this pack, depending on how many characters, or if they're gonna do multiple GT packs, for example, right? Throw in, who else is there? I mean, like I said, the Shadow Dragons, there's a million. I know people love Oceanus. She had like 15 minutes of screen time probably. I don't even remember. Like, was she in like one episode? I don't even know. I can't even remember, but whatever. Yeah, some of the other Shadow Dragons would be cool if they could include them. I think it'd be nice, right? Like I said, comment down below. Are there any other characters? Oh, Legic, my boy Legic. I need Legic. Probably nobody remembers Legic. Legic's actually raw as fuck, all right? Go look up Legic if you don't remember who he is. But yeah, let me know down in the comments which characters would you like to see in a future DLC. I'm pretty confident that at the very least, GT Vegeta and Super 17, they gotta be in some type of pack, you know, together, right? That would make the most sense to me. But see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.